Hello, vlog family. It is Wednesday now. I've not picked up my camera at all this week yet. I'm wearing this ridiculous bandana right now because my hair is incredibly greasy and you don't need to see that. It's later in the evening. We're having rotisserie chicken sandwiches for lunch. For dinner. I'm tired. So we are slow cooking a whole chicken and we have this really tasty like rotisserie homemade rub that we found that we really like. And so it's currently in the kitchen over there. You can see it right there, slow cooking. And that will be done in 2 hours-ish. So I'm standing against the wall back here because you're plugged in because my phone had like 5% battery, so. I went for another run today. This is the second run by myself, and I decided that I was going to start running while I was still in the apartment complex, and so I got onto the sidewalk right by our building and I started running, and I was listening to Harry Potter and I was jogging and I had a good pace going, and I got like 2 buildings over. And I was coming up, there was 3 like workers that were standing, like 3 of the office workers, 1 of the maintenance guys and 2 of the office people. And they were all standing around a sidewalk talking and like talking about the building that they were standing next to. And I'm just jogging, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna pass them and then keep going. And some of the sidewalk was like, where like the squares of sidewalk connect, one was way higher than the other. And I hit my foot off of it and completely wiped out in front of them, like right in front of these 3 strangers. And I was so embarrassed. Like, it wouldn't have been that bad, but I was so embarrassed because I just completely wiped out, like nearly face planted. I was holding my phone and I literally like threw it onto the ground to try to save myself from falling, which obviously didn't work, and like skidded at least 2 feet more after I hit the ground. And I heard, and my earphones came flying out, obviously, and I went past my phone because the case on my phone stopped it, but I kept going. And I heard the workers be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was so embarrassed, I couldn't look at any of them, and I just jumped up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And I just like immediately like got up, grabbed my phone, and like struggled to put my headphones back in and just kept walking and like walked past them. But I looked at my hand and I like scraped this hand all up and it was bleeding in a couple spots, and there's actually, I'm pretty sure, some concrete like cement stuff still stuck in there. Yeah. Pretty sure there is. I might actually have to take tweezers to that. But so that's all cut up. My other hand got a little cut up. Both of my knees got scraped and my one knee actually started bleeding a little bit. And I was so embarrassed. And I was just like, I'm not even going to stop to like assure them that I'm okay. Like, I'm just going to keep going because that was horrifying. So I kept going, I ended up running and didn't run the whole way, stopped a couple times because I was like holding back tears because of how embarrassed I was that I just completely wiped out in front of random people. But still went all the way down to where we usually go and then turn around and come back. Walked a little bit of it, but still ran most of it, which is good. And then came back. But yeah, so that was my running experience for today, which wasn't great because I didn't want to run in the first place. And then that happened. So we got Cool Runnings, which we have been dying to watch for a very long time. And then we also picked up this book, which is a book that Dan's best friend wrote, and it's called Fire Within. It's by Jesse Eisenhower, which is Dan's best friend. And it's 31 different short stories on, it says 31 life lessons on evangelism, discipleship, and the gospel. And I was able to read through a bunch of these stories before they actually published the book because Dan was helping Jesse with a lot of the editing for it. And so I was able to read through because he was wanting some of my opinions as well on the different stories. And the lessons essentially follow Jesse around with a company called Revive, and they go to different states, and he's involved a lot with Revive Indiana, but they've gone to Revive Texas, all these other things where they're basically going to these different states and these different towns in these different states and trying to spread the news of Jesus. And so these are 31 different stories that tell of his experience with Revive and his different experiences with going out and evangelizing and just trying to reach people and show them Jesus' love. And it's really, really cool because Jesse is not like a professional pastor. He hasn't gone to school for evangelism or anything like that. Like your average Joe guy that just has a heart for Jesus. And it's so cool reading these lessons because it really brings you down to earth, thinking about like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, I could never go out and just talk to a stranger about Jesus. Like I couldn't do that. Like I wouldn't know what to say. And he gives you a very clear idea of you don't need to know what to say. Like you can go to a park and strike up a conversation with one of the parents because your kids are playing together. Or you can go and hand out these bracelets that you have and explain what they mean. And everybody might be like, oh, cool, free bracelets. Okay, thanks, bye. And not want to hear what you have to say. And that's okay. It's like all of these stories are not success stories. Like some of these do end with Jesse walking home with everybody being like, no, thanks, that's fine. I don't want Jesus. Okay, bye. Nice meeting you. Whatever. But some of them do end also with him praying with somebody and praying the prayer of salvation with them, which is amazing. And one awesome thing about Revive that he works with is that they don't just go around, tell people about Jesus, and then skip out. They partner with churches in the area that they're working in to basically help disciple these people. So if they make connections, if Jesse prays with somebody and they're like, what do I do now? He's like, let me help you out with that. And he connects them with people who will walk with them and work with them and pray with them and teach them and mentor them and disciple them. And it's a really awesome outreach that Revive does. And Jesse wrote this book giving 31 different life lessons and just 31 short stories essentially on his experiences with Revive. And I highly recommend this book. You can buy it on Amazon. Fire Within by Jesse Eisenhower. This is what one of the covers looks like. There is a more plain cover, but this is the one that we got. And I highly recommend it because it's a very down-to-earth, practical way to make it very easy to spread the love of Jesus, and a very real thing that isn't out of your grasp because you didn't necessarily go to school for it or you haven't studied all of these things in the Bible. Like, you don't have to be an expert to do this. So we bought that because obviously we want to support Jesse, and also just because it's a good book. I mean, I've not read 100% of it, but I've read a lot of it already, and it's a good book. I don't remember if I've mentioned at all that I'm trying to drink more water. But if I have, you're just going to hear it again, so bear with me. Basically, about a month or so ago now, it's been a while now, I decided that the reasons why I was feeling really lethargic and didn't have any energy and was always tired and had no motivation to do anything, and also just wasn't feeling the best physically, was that I probably wasn't drinking enough water and was probably slightly dehydrated. So I talked to Dan and I was like, I'm going to look up exactly how much water is recommended, find out how many of these water bottles that is, because these are the water bottles that this is the water bottle that I use all the time. And I'm going to try to drink the recommended amount of water every single day, or at least close to it. And I told all of this to Dan because I was like, I need you to keep me accountable. And he said, okay, let's do it. So I looked it up, and essentially 3 of these a day is like 2 ounces off of the recommended daily amount of water. So I thought, if I can drink 3 of these a day, that's going to be awesome. I started doing that, and the first week I had 3 of those down every single day. And within the first 3 days of doing that, I noticed a dramatic change. Like, I had more energy. I was awake. And I had motivation to do things throughout the day. I was energetic. I was like, yeah, let's do stuff. I was like, I don't want to just sit here. I want to be doing stuff. And it was it was genuinely a 180-degree turn. I mean, it was crazy. So ever since then, I've been trying to drink more water consistently. It's gotten to the point now where I'm finishing 2 of these every single day without much difficulty. But to help me drink more water, I've decided that I will not drink anything else other than my first cup of coffee in the morning. That's the only thing that is an exception to this, is my 1 cup of coffee in the morning when I wake up. And it's not even a full cup. I can usually only drink like 3/4 of it. So my first 3/4 cup of coffee in the morning. But I will drink 2 of these before I drink anything else. Exceptions, I just said coffee was the only exception. There's other exceptions, are tea. Tea counts toward my water intake. And it doesn't count toward my water intake, but I'll still accept it earlier than 2 of these, is like orange juice or milk. So that's what I've stuck to, and that keeps me from drinking soda, that keeps me from having another cup of coffee later in the day, and then not wanting or really trying to drink more water throughout the day. So that's what I've been trying to do for the past month or so, and I really enjoy it. It's murder on my bladder. Yeah, so that's what I've been trying to do. But to say all of that, this full guy right here is only water bottle number 2. So I've only finished 1 of these today, but I am treating myself to a caffeine-free root beer because I completely wiped out in front of an army of people today. And that embarrassment needs some sort of comfort. And that's the end of my story.
What are you doing?
I'm recording it because I find this interesting.
There we go. And just a wee bit. There you go, dude. Foo-foo for you.
Thanks.
No problem.
I wanted to show you, at work today, I had a request client come in and give me a belated Christmas gift, which was really nice of her. It was like these 3 little like hand creams, and it's sweet mint, candy apple, and cinnamon sugar. So I'm very excited to try those and see how they are. But I think I'm actually kind of more excited about the wrapping paper that it came in, which sounds really weird. But it's this adorable Scotty wrapping paper, and I saved it because I plan on cutting out the Scotties that are still like whole and in really good shape and saving them to use for scrapbooking, because they don't scream Christmas when you look at them. They just scream really cute Scotties. And I can just cut them out and then use them for when I'm scrapbooking and just have them like in a little baggie. And I think that's a great alternative to going out and buying stickers and things that I don't need, but I want. Done filming, and I just wanted to show you my setup. This was angled totally down with my camera on it, so it could angle over this, so you could see everything I was writing, which that's not my real meal plan, that's just kind of what I filled in for the video. But my camera made it so top heavy, it would have fallen over, so I stuck a bag of almonds on here to weigh it down so it didn't topple over, because I'm real high tech. We're making lasagna for supper tonight, and I don't know why I sat down. I actually wanted to come over here. And so I'm gonna get ready to start preparing all of that stuff. But I wanted to show you, this is the leftover crab that we had from yesterday's meal. Yesterday kicked off the beginning of filming for my cooking a dish for all 50 states video. And we started it off with a banger, which was Alaskan king crab. And Dan and I both say it was delicious, but it 100% was not worth the money. We bought 2 pounds. The total cost was a little over $50. This is an experience. We're learning. We now have an Alaskan king crab recipe should we ever be gifted it, because we both know we are never buying it again. And now we have leftover crab to enjoy. So I'm gonna munch on some of this actually while I work on prepping our lasagna. I wanted to show you. This is the cutout Scotties that I made for that wrapping paper that I showed you earlier. So you just have all of them cut out and in this bag. And I mean, obviously it's wrapping paper, but I love this because these are going to be adorable little decorations for like whatever, and I'm super excited about it. But I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. If you did, thumbs up, comment, stuff, subscribe, just go watch a different video, whatever you want to do. Have a great week. Bye. Kidding. I went to start making the lasagna and then realized that we are in fact one lasagna baking dish short. So I bought the just like dollar roasting tins from Walmart when we made turkey, and it didn't occur to me that those aren't the same thing as lasagna tins. So came out because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to run to Walmart and get one quick. It's no big deal. Got outside to get to the car, realized Dan took the car to work. So now I'm walking over to Aldi so I can get the car. I'm gonna run in and make sure that they don't have any tins, but if they don't, then I'm just gonna take the car and go to Walmart. So got the lasagna tins. Have a great week.